It began with a video. Nobody was supposed to see a handheld camera shaking violently, heavy breathing footsteps crashing through leaves and branches, then a shadow blotting out the sun, a massive eye filling the frame before the device hit the ground, and the image cut to black. The voiceover whispered, "They found me." The last transmission from an uncharted island far out in the Pacific. Weeks later, a cargo ship vanished without warning. The official story said it was a storm, but leaked sonar scans told another tale. Shapes moving beneath the waves, shapes too large to be whales, too fast to be submarines. A covert expedition was assembled, scientists, soldiers, and a treasure hunter with his own agenda setting off toward the coordinates. The sea turned strange the deeper they sailed. The air was thick with mist. The island rose from the horizon like a sleeping giant, cliffs dripping with vines and waterfalls, pterosaurs circling high above like vultures of a forgotten era. The moment they landed, they saw it in the sand, gigantic footprints far larger than any elephant, but some disturbingly human-like, as if the two species had once been fused into one. They ventured into the jungle. The treasure hunter noticed bones protruding from the soil, a human skull fused with a dinosaur tail, as if evolution had taken a path the world never knew. Something followed them, unseen, the sound of leaves brushing the air, the occasional glint of eyes reflecting light, until the scientist caught sight of it, a raptor. Crouched low, muscles, coiled eyes, unblinking, not the mindless predator of history books, but something watching, studying, calculating. The group pressed deeper into the jungle until they stumbled upon an overgrown temple, stone walls carved with scenes of humans riding dinosaurs into battle, a sealed stone door with deep claw marks on the inside, as if something trapped had fought to get out. When the archaeologist brushed dust from a strange symbol, the ground trembled, a deep vibration rising from below. The air fell dead silent, not a bird, not an insect. Then a roar shattered the stillness, so powerful it rattled their bones. Massive predators emerged from hidden caverns, their scales glistening, their teeth wet with hunger. Night came fast. Their campfire was surrounded by glowing eyes. Raptors moved like shadows, slashing, tearing, dragging people into the darkness. The survivors fled toward the river. A massive crocodile-like dinosaur exploded from the water, snapping its jaws inches from the boat, forcing them deeper inland, where they found a hidden tribe. Their elders spoke in a language the treasure hunter somehow understood through a translator. They learned the truth: this island had never seen the extinction. Humans and dinosaurs had evolved side by side for millennia, once in peace, until a betrayal ignited war. The dinosaurs retreated into the earth, waiting, adapting, growing smarter. The real king of the island was not the T-Rex, but a monstrous Spinosaurus that hunted land and sea. It had been stalking them since their arrival, always just out of sight. The group's only hope was an ancient tunnel system beneath the island, a labyrinth that could lead them to the shore. But the dinosaurs had learned the tunnels too. They had laid traps, narrow passages, where claws reached from the shadows, sudden drops into flooded pits, where unseen creatures brushed against their legs. The deeper they went, the louder the rumble from behind. The Spinosaurus was coming closer. They reached a massive cavern and made their stand. Explosives from the soldiers planted along the roof. The beast charged, water spraying from its jaws. As the walls shook, they triggered the blast. The cavern collapsed in a deafening roar, the tunnel filled with water, forcing them to swim through the darkness, lungs burning, until at last they burst onto the shore, gasping. A helicopter hovered above, ropes dropped. They climbed, desperate, hearts pounding as the rotors sliced the air. But just before takeoff, the treasure hunter looked down and froze. The ocean below writhed with shadows, dozens of colossal shapes swimming in formation. One broke the surface, a dinosaur head the size of a truck, dripping seawater, and staring up with cold, intelligent, human-like eyes. The man whispered, "It's not over," and the sea erupted into a roar that swallowed the sound of the helicopter blades. The helicopter blades thundered overhead, but the roar from the ocean was louder, deeper, older, the kind of sound that vibrates through your bones and makes your instincts scream. Run. The survivors stared down as massive shapes cut through the waves, each one bigger than the last. The water churned into froth, and then something unimaginable happened. One of the colossal creatures leapt from the sea, not just a dinosaur, but a hybrid, its body sleek like a predator built for speed, its limbs strangely human-like, gripping the side of the helicopter with claws that pierced the metal. The machine lurched sideways. Soldiers fired, but the bullets barely scratched at it. Opened its mouth, revealing rows of serrated teeth, and an inner jaw that shot forward like a snake, snapping inches from the scientist's head. With a violent twist, the pilot sent the chopper into a spin, shaking the creature loose. It crashed into the water, but the ripples didn't fade, they grew larger. Something far bigger was rising. The Spinosaurus, the one they thought they'd killed in the cavern, exploded from the depth, scars along its body from the collapse, but its eyes burned hotter than ever. It snapped at the hybrid in the water. The two titans clashed in a frenzy of teeth and claws, the sea turning crimson. The helicopter barely made it to the mainland. They landed on a military base, believing they were safe, until the alarm screamed, radar picking up dozens of massive signals approaching the coastline. The ocean swelled like a living wall, and then the first wave of creatures struck the shore. Chaos erupted. Soldiers fired, artillery, tanks rolled forward, but the dinosaurs moved with terrifying coordination, not mindless beasts, but an army, as if someone somewhere was leading them. The treasure hunter realized the truth. The elder's story wasn't just history, it was prophecy. The betrayal long ago was not between humans and dinosaurs, but between factions of Humans some had sided with the creatures, merging with them over generations, creating an unstoppable hybrid race built for domination, and now they were reclaiming the world. Night fell, and the base was overrun. Survivors scattered into the burning city, the air filled with the screech of dinosaurs swooping down to snatch fleeing people from the streets. The group split into the scientist and a soldier heading for the research labs to find a way to stop them, the treasure hunter and the archaeologist following a lead from the temple carvings about a weapon hidden in a volcanic mountain far inland. But the hybrids knew they were coming. One by one they picked off the stragglers until only a handful remained inside the mountain. They found a chamber glowing with strange light, walls covered in carvings of humans and dinosaurs standing together against a shadowy figure with eyes like fire. At the center of the room a sphere pulsed with energy. The scientist's voice trembled. "This isn't a weapon, it's a key." The floor shook, dust raining from above. A massive shadow filled the entrance. It was the Spinosaurus, but this time its body was covered in armored plates forged from shipwreck metal, jagged and gleaming in the firelight. It lunged, forcing them to scatter. As the sphere's glow intensified, the archaeologist shouted something in the elder's language, and the carvings began to move. Stone dinosaurs stepping from the walls, their eyes blazing, they turned toward the Spinosaurus. The cavern became a war zone. The treasure hunter grabbed the sphere as the ground split open, molten rock flooding the chamber. They ran through collapsing tunnels, chased by both allies and enemies, until the tunnel burst open onto the cliffside below. The ocean raged with storm clouds swirling into a vortex, and in the center something enormous rose, not dinosaur, not human, but something that had been waiting since before history began. Its roar made the sky crack. The treasure hunter looked at the sphere in his hands and whispered the same words from the old footage. "They found me, and then the world went dark."